computer. So I'd like to welcome you guys again and tell you that today the skill that we are discussing is skill 50, and it's called use predicate adjectives correctly. All right. Predicate means, like the part of the sentence that is after the verb. All right. So why do we call them predicate adjectives? Because they are only adjectives that can only come, like after the verb, and they cannot be used before the noun. Okay. And remember, we talked about, for example, beautiful. Let me give you an example so that you can understand this in a quick way first before we go into the lesson. So the word beautiful, it's an adjective, right? It is not a predicate adjective. It's just a regular adjective. Why do we say it's not a predicate adjective? Because we don't only, we're not forced to use beautiful after the verb. All right. Like, for example, she is beautiful. Yeah, and you can do that. I mean, it's not like you cannot. She is the verb, beautiful. She seems amazing. Amazing is also an adjective. It's not a predicate adjective. Do you know why? Because you can say something like this, What can you say? An amazing woman, was, at my house, or was in the street, or a beautiful woman, she got it, or she is a beautiful woman. All right. So you can use it before the noun in that kind of way. All right. So, however, there are some adjectives that cannot be put before or positioned before the noun. They can only be used in a way to follow the verb. And the verb that is used, let me say, which they follow, is just, like a verb to be verb, or what do we call them? Linking verbs that function just like the verb to be. Got the idea? We talked about linking verbs before. Let's take a look at predicate adjectives. Like I said, predicate adjectives are adjectives that only, see, this is a predicate adjective, could be used only where, guys, after the verb and not before, the noun, as, a way of describing the snake, for example. All right. So certain adjectives, see what the lesson is all about? Certain adjectives appear only in the predicate. And predicate, we must understand what predicate means. That means like after the verb. All right. Yeah, so they cannot come before the noun. That's what it means, all right? As an adjective, because we know that sometimes adjectives could precede, the noun, all right? That is, they appear. So what does this mean? They only appear as predicate of the sentence. That is, so it's explained too. They appear after a linking verb, such as the most common, of course, guys, is be. Like, because I say she is, he is, they are, right? And then we say alive. Okay, there's a song called I'm Alive. Do you know the song I'm Alive?
Yes, yes, Doctora.
Good job. Good job, Dr. Ghaith. Who's the singer? Now, that's the hard question, Let me see if you know. Don't Google it.
No, I don't know.
Celine Dion. My heart will go on and on. All right. You know her, the one who sang in Titanic. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So Celine Dion sang My Heart Will Go On in Titanic. She also sang I'm Alive. All right. It's a beautiful song, by the way. I advise you to listen to it again if you've not listened to it, for some time. All right. So back to the sentence. See, because I said I'm alive is the sentence. I am alive. Why alive? Because alive is among the what? The adjectives. It's not a verb. Be careful, guys. It's not a verb. It's an adjective. And the way it is used is what? As predicate only. You cannot use it, before nouns like in this kind of way over here. Look at how it's used here. So, and they cannot appear. That means they could not be used, right? Directly in front of the noun or in front of the nouns that they describe. Okay? So they cannot be used in the way like when you say a beautiful woman, an amazing man, an interesting lesson, right? Something of that kind. You can't use these in that kind of way. It's wrong. All right. Look at this example. The snake on the rock. The snake on the rock. It sounds like a summer day, not a wintry cold day like today, The snake on the rock, what about it? Was alive. Alive is not a verb. It's an adjective, guys. Be careful. Some people, mistake verbs, or I'm sorry, adjectives for verbs. This is not a verb. It's an adjective, all right? She was nice. It's like that. She was alive. Alive means, full of life, not dead, right? Okay. And sometimes it means like when Celine Dion says, I'm alive, she means I'm full of energy, right? Right? I'm doing things that are enjoyable, that are meaningful, to myself, to my family, to the world, etc. Right? Yeah. So look at this example, guys. The alive snake was lying on the rock. The alive, what do you think? There's an asterisk here, and we now have, become used to, that, the idea that when there's an asterisk, that means there's a mistake, right? Yeah. So this is wrong. This is wrongly used. So I must say the living snake if I want to choose something else here. Okay, that could be used. But look, the good thing, the great thing, guys, is that all of them begin with alike, alive, alone, afraid, asleep. So they're not hard to, remember. Okay, so they're adjectives, and all of them begin with look. And I think let me say, have come across these adjectives. It's not like you've never, heard them before. We say they are alike because they're twins, because they're friends. All right. Alive in the sentence, we've already mentioned it, right? I am alone. I am home alone. You know that movie, Home Alone? So I am alone. All right. Like by myself. By myself is another song, By myself. Yeah. All by myself. That's another song. Afraid. Okay. My son was afraid when I left him at home. Again, by himself, right? All right. So afraid. He was afraid. See how I use it as what? A predicate. We say adjective. So get used to the word predicate. Okay. Predicate adjective means it's, followed by the verb. And what verb are we talking about mainly? Look, verb to be. That's the most common. And, linking verbs. That is words that function as be. Like their goal when they are used in the sentence is to function as be. All right. Yeah. All right.
دكتورة,
Yeah.
it should be direct followed by it should be after verb to be directly.
Not necessarily. You can switch this, for example, Dr. Ghait, you see this alive, you can switch it to another adjective that means the same. Or, if you really want to use the word alive, you can. But yes, you must use it after the verb to be, not directly, not necessarily, depends, like here, for example, you help me with this. The snake.
Can you, sometimes we said I'm still alive.
Yeah.
We
and
put
there
still
is M. It's fine. It's correct because you said I am. See that word M. So still is fine. It's extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
yeah. So
still
I
like
can't
already,
between...
the word already still, they're used in sentences. They don't break the grammar, but they add extra meaning, right? Or, this kind of like salt and pepper, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. That's why I want you now to correct this. I corrected it in a certain way. I told you we don't want to use alive so that we don't break the structure of the sentence. And I said, why not say the living snake? The living snake, So that's another way to say that the snake was alive, because I said the snake was alive, but not in this way. You can't say the alive snake. So the living snake, this is used. We say the living even sometimes without even mentioning people, because usually when we talk about the living, we mean people, creatures, all right? But since I specifically want to use the snake, so the living snake. What about it? Was lying on the rock. You can change it another way, probably, but you have to, also alter the structure a bit, probably by saying the snake that was lying, or which was lying on the rock, let me say, was alive. All right, because now this is a clause. You want to switch it into a clause. It gives you the same meaning, though, right? Okay. So in the first example, this one, the snake on the rock was alive. The predicate adjective alive is used correctly. This is how you use alive as a predicate. All of these are used in the same manner, okay? Was still alive, see that, Dr. Ghait? Fine. All right, you can use something here like still. It won't, break the, the structure of the sentence. It's just extra meaning, all right? Yeah. So it's used correctly after the linking verb was, as you can see, was means not just was. Linking verb could be, all be, verbs are linking verbs, right? We said that to describe the subject snake. In the second example here, look at this example. The predicate adjective alive, is used incorrectly. So we said predicate adjectives. These are predicate adjectives. We are not allowed to use them in a way, in this kind of way, that is to, preceded, or to precede, let me say, I'm sorry, the noun, okay? We're not allowed to use them in this kind of way. Most adjectives work, both ways, right? As predicate and as nouns, adjectives that, that precede nouns, right? Because when I give you an example, the beautiful girl, I say, for example, that's an adjective which works both ways, I'm sorry. I saw, let me say, the beautiful girl, you can say that, all right? Or you can say something like, she is beautiful, all right? It's predicate here, okay? In that kind of way where it's not even next to the noun, all right? She is beautiful. But you can still say, the beautiful woman went to the party, for example. See, the beautiful woman, all right? Not like alive. You cannot use it in that kind of way, okay? Yeah. So in the second example, this over here, the predicate adjective alive, this is called a predicate adjective. It's used incorrectly in front of the noun snake. We cannot use it in this kind of way. In this position, the adjective, live, you can say live, should be used. So you either say the living snake or the live snake, but not alive. This is another word that could be used as an adjective, that people that speak the English language use, let me say, as an adjective to mean living, all right, also, okay? So the live snake or the living snake, both of them are correct, but alive with the it's not used. Why? There's no reason besides the fact that, native speakers of the language have never used it in that kind of way. And this is just how the English language is used and structured, all right? That's all. So that's it. So these are, predicate adjectives. Here they are: alike, alive, alone, afraid. And I have given you examples on each, right? Forms used in front of nouns. So if you want to replace this, you see, you want to replace alike, you want it there, the word alike, something that means the same, before, let me say, the noun, you can use these alternatives. Look, these are, at least these alternatives are correct. These will not be correct if you use them before nouns. So you can use these only as predicates. That means after verbs, not before the noun to describe, okay, as adjectives. However, these over here, look, forms used in front of nouns. So they are used, these forms, and they replace these, like they have the same meaning, all right? So you can say something like, similar, we say similar people. See how similar people? Similar drawings, were accomplished by the twins or something like that. See how we say, we talked about this, the living animal, the live animal, the live snake. So this could be used in this kind of way, all right? The lone person, like who is alone, okay? The frightened animal, ran away. The sleeping beauty, Sleeping Beauty, right? So I think there's a story called Sleeping Beauty, and it's even, there's a a virgin in Arabic, not just in Arabic, guys, right?
I think in all the languages.
Excellent job.
Story.
Yes, that's very true, Dr. Ghaif. So these, fairy tales, let me say, are known all over the world. All right. Yeah. They're kind of like found in every language, in every culture. However, let me say, each culture gives it a kind of flavor, a little bit of difference, but similarity. So the story itself, maybe the order is the same, but I mean, it's influenced by the culture of every, country in some kind of way, probably. All right, so exercise 50. And before we go to 50, look what it says here. A predicate adjective, appears after a linking verb, such as be, because this is the most common, guys. That's why we say such as be. It cannot appear directly in front of the noun that it describes, okay? So this is the beginning, and this is to sum up, all right? To remind you of what the lesson was all about. All right, who would like to do one of these sentences? Dr. Noura.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 4.
Okay.
سمعتني دكتورة؟
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Number 4. The afraid child cried for his mother. Okay.
Yeah.
It's incorrect. Should be frightened.
Yeah, the frightened child. The frightened. So this is wrong. Incorrect, we say, because this is a predicate adjective. It cannot be used
Child
for
noun.
the noun. Yes. So we've been talking about adjectives for a while. Yes, the child, the frightened child, we can say, cried for his mom. Thank you so much. Yes, Dr. Asim, let me listen to what you have to say.
Hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I gonna pick sentence number 3.
Go ahead.
Are you going to be alone in the house tonight? This is incorrect sentence. The mistake is in word alone. It should be changed to alone.
Yeah, I think, if this is going to be used as a replacement, I think we said that, it's used here before the noun, right? Not after, in this kind of way. Are you going to be alone? Yes, the proper one is to say alone after the verb and not lone, right? In the house tonight. Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Asim. Yes, because as a predicate, we want to use the predicate adjectives, okay? Yeah, thank you so much. Dr. Khulud. Do you want us to go to the next page? Maybe we will have more sentences there.
Okay, as you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we have some which are answered already. So let me just make this smaller. Alrighty. Here we go. Larger. Yeah. Dr. Khulud, which one do you want to choose?
Number 6, Doctora. Number 6.
Yeah.
Where is it?
معلش دكتور
Just
رضا.
trying to mute you guys because there's a lot of noise. I don't know why we have lots of noise. Let me try.
Yes, number.
Sorry, just a moment, please. Okay. Dr. Khulud, can you please unmute yourself because I had to mute everybody altogether. It was noisy in the background. I'm sorry because we couldn't hear you. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Khulud. Unmute yourself again. Yeah, and go ahead.
Yes, number 6, Doctora. We completed our 2 projects in a like manner.
Yeah.
We completed our 2 projects in a like manner. It's correct.
In a like manner. Alike.
Alike. Yeah.
So we completed our 2 projects in a like manner. All right. I think it's fine. You know why? Do you know why? Because manner is a noun. Manner is a noun. We don't care about the fact that there's verbs here. The thing is that wherever the noun is, if we put an adjective, which is used correctly, then we accept it. If it's not then correct, So we have here, manner is a noun, and then we have not alike, a like. So if you want to go back to the lesson, guys, this is the way that, in a like manner. Why a certain manner? That's why. Okay. So if we go back to the lesson so that you can see for yourselves, we said here, what does the list say? Here it is. Where's the word like? Here is like. In a similar, because we say a similar. So guys, it's just because it's not common. So don't be afraid of it. Okay. It's just like when someone says a similar manner, the same manner, it really means. All right. Yeah. So I have Dr. Ghaith's hand up. Let's see what he has to say. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Khulud. That's amazing. That's correct. What do you have to say, Dr. Ghaith?
Doctora, can you please zoom in? I cannot read the text.
Now I think I did right now. Is this fine? Yeah. All right. Which sentence do you want it to be larger also, a little bit more?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Yes, according to the report, the president was short by a long.
Dr. Ghaith?
Yes. Yes.
Shot, not short. Gun, that's a gun.
Was
Hand
shot
with gun.
by an alone gunman.
What do you think?
By an alone.
Alone or alone? See, that's
Separate.
a big
and
difference.
lone
Yeah.
لحال.
Exactly. Because it makes a difference. Alone is a predicate adjective. You cannot use it before the noun. Now, alone, alone, yani that's like someone who's by himself, you know, in that kind of way. Yes, you can use it. So you have to look, imagine just, you know, just a space makes all the difference. All right. So we need to have a space here. We don't have it. And that's why it's really incorrect. Okay. But you must understand that there's a difference between, we need here, not because for loan.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
here is not for loan. You know that it's for gunman? That's why. Because
And we should remove an. And remove an. A long.
Shot by.
A long gunman.
Good job. Good job. By and then loan gunman. Thank you for mentioning the an over here too. So we want to remove an, because the thing is that he was shot by a gunman. Imagine it like this. Ignore this loan, okay? And this over here. So the president was shot by whom? By a gunman. Now we want to say the gunman was by himself. Nobody was with him. All right. How do we say by himself next to gunman? Like he wasn't accompanied by anybody. So we say he was shot by not an. And then we have the word lone by itself. That's why you might mistake this one. Okay. But it's, you know, simple, as I said, because the is for gunman, because we say he was a gunman or he is a gunman. He's a teacher. He's an astronaut. We need the a or an for jobs. You know that, or someone who does something. All right. Not because it's part of the word loan. So we have to be careful with this one. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys have understood this. Yes, Dr. Islam. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghait. Dr. Islam, do you want to do one more? And then we'll move on to the next, you know, activity.
Yes, doctor. I will select number 8.
Go ahead.
She tried to walk quietly by the asleep dogs without walking them. It's incorrect.
Yes, of course. Remember, guys, any adjective that has a at the beginning like this, alive, and it's connected. Be careful, it's connected. Like this one, alone, like alive. Never are they supposed to be, you know, before, let me say, noun, ever, okay? But here, look at this. This is after the verb. So is it fine? So what did you say, Dr. Islam, again?
Yes, number 8, it's incorrect. It should be
incorrect. What's the
by
problem?
the sleep
So
dogs.
she tried to walk quietly by the dogs.
Sleep
what do you want
dogs.
to say? Oh, there's dogs here. So by the what? What should we say then?
Sleep dogs. Yes, yes. Without
what should we say? No, there is no such thing as sleep.
Sleeping.
No.
Sleeping.
Sleepy, by the sleepy dogs, or
Sleeping, yeah.
sleeping. Did we take sleeping or sleepy?
Sleepy.
I say sleepy. What was in the go? You know, in the let me say, in this table. What did it say? The table. You can say sleepy dogs, by the way, but we want to see what the table says about that. If it says sleeping dogs,
The table says sleeping.
Okay.
The table says sleeping.
Okay, we want to use the table, but it doesn't mean sleepy is wrong, because sleepy also, you know, is a correct adjective. But I will tell you what, who can tell me the difference between sleepy and sleeping dogs? There's a difference, by the way. Both of them are correct. They will give you a sentence that is grammatically correct, but there's a difference in meaning between sleepy and sleeping. I say sleeping dogs, sleepy dogs. What's the difference?
Sleepy. Sleepy behavior of the dog. He behaved as a sleepy, lazy one. No,
not really. Sleepy, guys, it means نعسان. When I say I'm sleepy, معناها أنا نعسانة. Right? My son is sleepy. Not sleeping, sleepy, بالواي. S-L-E-E-P-Y. نعسان, guys. What's نعسان in English? Sleepy. He is sleepy. Sleepy means he's about to sleep. Got it? Got the idea? But when I say sleeping, no, he's actually sleeping. Got it? And what? And snoring. What's snoring? What does snoring mean?
بشخور.
Exactly. I just, actually reenacted that, right? Reenacted that. All right. Let me take a look at see what it says here. So instead of asleep, sleeping. Why? Like I said, because it's the same in terms of meaning. That's why. Because if you use sleepy, it's not incorrect, I mean grammatically, but it doesn't give the same meaning, because sleepy means nasan and sleeping means actually sleeping. All right, guys, that's really what it means. All right. Okay, so we want to move to a new skill, and our new skill is going to be a reading skill. Last time we talked about, I don't know if we should go for the reading skill right now. I had in mind something. Let me take a look at the time. Okay.
ضايل two skills صح دكتورة من reading.
No, we're going to take another skill, but my goal today is not to go for
يعني هم 10 صح؟
We're going to take 2 skills today, but I want you guys to take a look at something today which is of benefit to you, okay? Let's take a look at this before we go for the reading. Okay, there's something that I would like you to pay attention to. Now, in English, sometimes I want you to pay attention to words that have the same sound, but they're different in terms of meaning. They have the same sound, but they're different words, all right? So I wanted to take a look at the appendix, because the appendix is very useful. It's very helpful in general for all of your, although it says listening here, but, my advice to you is to, pay attention to words like this, whether it's listening or whether it's reading, all right? These are important words, although look at them, they're all small words made up of 3 letters or even 4, a little bit more probably sometimes. But all of these words, some, people who learn or try to learn the English language or are learning the English language, make a mistake between the meanings and the pronunciation of these words, all right? So that's why I wanted you to take a look at this before we move to the reading skill. So every time I'm going to have something there for you. Either it could be related to the skills or something just, that will assist and, help you out in general. Look at these words, guys. Look. Pit and pet. Is there a difference between pit and pet? So in pronunciation, you can't pronounce them.
Which page are those exercises?
They're in the appendix. The appendix is at the end of the book. Every time you have like appendix A, B, this is appendix A. Now, in terms of page number, let me, make this smaller so I can give you the page number. All right, again, all right, because it's 511. You see it at the top here. It is the corner. Okay, 511, appendix A. So these are things that we'll find in the book, and it's good to pay attention to them, because some of us probably don't differentiate between them in terms of pronunciation and in terms of meaning. They're very different, although the difference could be just a letter, could be just a vowel. Okay, so for example, are these words clear to you guys? Pit and pet, for example, are they clear? Pit, pet. See, ah. So there's a little slight difference in terms of pronunciation in the middle area, okay, in terms of the vowel. Now, who can tell me what this means, pit? And what does pet mean? Do you know what they mean? Dr. Islam, you have your hand up, and your hand has been up for a while. You're always ready, it looks like.
The second one is pet, yani like cat, dog, something like that.
Good job. So pet means like an animal, that you have at home, right? That you raise and you look after at home, like one of your kids, huh? All right. Yeah, correct. It could be a cat. It could be a dog. Could it be a lizard? What do you think? A lizard.
Sometimes, yes, I see in the TV lizard and mice, like hamsters.
Exactly. No, I mean actual mice, Dr. Ghait, like when I was a
yes, mice.
Yes, when I was a school kid, in the United States, we had, not me at home. My mom would never let me have a cat even, but I mean in our classroom, We had a rabbit. We had a guinea pig, which is like a, you know, a big version of a mouse, you know. We had mice. We had lizards. We had, you know, let me say birds. What else did we have? You know, it was unbelievable. We had a lamb. Once we had a lamb for a very long time, and then we gave it back away, you know, to the farm. But yes, we had animals in the classroom, and you know, you can have like maybe like a turtle, you know, a turtle, tortoise, you know, British people say tortoise, all right? So turtle, sulhafa also, you can have that as a pet, all right? Yeah. So if you plan to look after it, keep it at home, you know, pet it, play with it, enjoy it in your house, you know, welcome it as a member, you know, that's a pet. But in our part of the world, the most common pets are what? Are, let me say, cats and dogs, probably. More cats more than dogs even, right? Yeah, a horse could be your pet too, you know? Yeah. What's pit now? Pit, guys, is like hufra. Okay, this is, yeah. Sometimes you might describe, yes, a hole as a pit, a hole, all right? Hufra bil ard, you know, that's a pit. Like, I don't want to fall into the pit, okay? Or something like that. All right. Of course, there are different meanings, you know, for these, you know, some of these words, but we can focus on one. All right. They are different. And just to show you one difference, this is one difference. All right. This is something and this is something else. Let's take a look at the next, you know, let's stay up here. I think we have to stay up here. So we have pat, because A, B, C, D, right? Pat and put, to pat someone, right? Pat, you pat what? Or something like that. That's a pat. Like, if you want to tell me what it means, what pat means?
You rub it.
Yes, good job. Yeah. So sometimes if a little kid, not just a little kid, even an adult, guys, we do it among each other, right? If, like, you know, someone did something that you like, that you approve, you know, that is correct, that is fine. Good job. Good for you. Yes. So this is it. So you pat them like this. All right. I don't know. This is not very common maybe in our part of the world, but some people do it, you know. But in the United States, it's very common, you know, to pat people, tell them, good job, thank you. And then you use your hand to do it in a gentle way, right? Gentle, huh, guys? That's the most important thing, all right? To make the other feel that they're appreciated, right? Then we have put, of course. I bet all of you know what to put something down. Put means يضع. Good. This is the AC remote. I'm going to put it down. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for your assistance. So there's a difference, you know, in meaning, as you can see. How about this one? Pout. What does that mean? To pout. What does that mean, guys? Who knows what pout means? Pout and pot. What's the difference between them? Who can tell me? Come on, guys.
Pot اللي هي زبدية دكتورة.
All right. Good. It's not really that. A pot اللي هي طنجرة. Yeah. So you use it to cook. It's a pot. وعاء يعني, you know, معدني غالبا, right, guys? And you use it to cook, you know, something inside, meat, veggies, whatever, right? But when you talk about pout here, it's an action that you do with your lips, all right? So maybe you might, you know, shiver your lips, move them in a certain way of, you know, when you're angry, all right? So whenever you say she pouted, like she used her lips in a fast, you know, way, in a way where maybe they got messed up, you know, the lips, all right? Because of, you know, her being angry or scared or, you know, like that. So it's something connected to the movement of the lips. Okay, got it? How about heat? Do we have some more here? I forgot to pay attention if we have more. No, we don't. All right. EF. And then over here we have letters, you know, words that begin with H. Okay. How about this? Heat and hit. What does that mean?
Heat, high temperature.
Good. All right.
Something high temperature. Hit,
هيت حرارة هيت حرارة
بالضبط
What?
هيت ضرب مش
No, this one is to smack. This one, hit. Right? Our children hit us, right? No, we don't hit them. They hit us. All right? Yeah, that is to smack, to use your hand to hit. It doesn't have to be hitting in a way where it could be someone hits someone, guys. Someone else. Hit, you might hit what? Your goal. Your goal, guys, come on. All right? So be careful with the word. Hit, يعني to put your, mark on something. But yeah, the most common الشائع, guys, yes, اللي هو الضرب. But not necessarily, مش بالضرورة معناها دايما ضرب, guys, all right? الوصول sometimes, to touch, to reach sometimes, all right? So I hit my goal, all right? You can say something like that. And of course, heat, I heard Dr. Hassan talk about heat. Of course, it could be a verb, it could be a noun, right? To heat something, إنك تسخنه, or heat in general, الحرارة, as he said, يعني, as a noun. So both are, it depends on the context that you're using the word in to say whether it's حرارة or it's, تسخن, right? I heated the food. I heated it means سخنته, all right? How about this? Hot and hot. Let's take a look at these two. Who can help me with this? Where are your hands? Tell me about the pair, both of them, if you know. Dr.
hot معناتها hot HOT اللي هي معناتها ساخن.
Okay. Hot.
HUT I don't know.
Hot means what? Who knows what hot means? This is hot. This is hot. Be careful. Jordanians, we don't say hot for this. We say hot. All right? Hot. Okay? And this, we say hot for it. Okay? All right. So the TOEFL book is an American book. Americans say hot for something that is warm, that they cannot drink, warm to the extent where you can't really consume it or drink it. All right, that's what Americans say. So, and then hot here, because we're not British here with the TOEFL. Hut means a small room, guys. It's a small room in the country. اللي هي الغرفة الصغيرة اللي في كتير ناس عندهم منها إذا في عندهم مزرعة. All right. هاي الغرفة الصغيرة اللي بس فيها maybe like a bathroom, maybe just one bed, or it's used in if you have just like a garden and you don't maybe even spend the night, or you might spend the night one time there. All right. فهي بنسميها hut, guys. All right. A hut is a little, not house, but maybe like a room, which is like a house. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
like a studio, doctor.
What?
Like studio.
Yes. Yeah. Like something like that. And usually huts, guys, are like.
احنا بنحكي لها كوخ دكتورة.
Yes. Thank you for the word. Thank you for saying that. That's what it is. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. That's a hut. All right. So just, a house made up of one room, usually in the country, in a garden. It's there just, for you probably in order not to get burned by the sun, let me say. Yeah. And you use it, just because you might need it. That's the thing. All right. Yeah. So this is what it is. Thank you so much for that. So we have now height and hate. What's the difference between, look, height. So the I, is used in a way. Yeah.
طول دكتورة.
yeah.
All right. Who wants to speak? Raise your hand so that we can choose, so that we don't have, a mix in, talk and so on. So Dr. Hiba, do you want to say anything about these?
Okay. Height against weight. زي ما حكى الطول. Hate when we didn't like someone.
Good. The opposite of like. The opposite of like. عكس المحبة. Right?
But height is not length. مش not الطول يعني. Height it's ارتفاع.
Yeah. صحيح. Yeah. Well, إحنا لأننا متعودين تعرف لما بدنا نقيس طول حدا بنقول له, we need to check your what? Your height, isn't that what we say?
Yes, دكتور.
على أرض الواقع شو بنقول
and height.
Yeah, I want to measure your height. بس يعني من ناحية علمية it's better to say ارتفاع for this. Is that it? يعني احنا
Yes, yes,
يعني
of
كل
course.
حدا
okay.
كل حدا
Yeah,
حسب
بس زي ما
تخصصه.
قلنا على أرض الواقع مرات بنقول لما نقيس طول حدا I will measure your height or something like that. Yeah, and you find this, you know, it's common. It's used in that kind of way. But as long as we understand what we mean, right, by this, all right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And then hate, of course, it's something totally different, you know. So this is like even a noun, and this is even a what? Hate. Usually as a noun, we say hatred, al-karahiyya, hatred, by the way, right? Not hate, but hate like could be used also as a noun. I mean, he holds a lot of hate, okay? But the actual noun that is used is hatred. But you know, again, hate could be used as a verb, right? She hates me. That means she doesn't like me. She detests me. Another word for hate is detest. Not to like, to really hate someone, right? Yeah, it's a stronger word than hate even, to detest, all right? Yeah. So the thing is here, you need to pay attention to the pronunciation of these words and to understand the difference in meaning, okay, between them. All right, let's take a look at, I'm sure all of you guys know the difference between these. Who's going to tell me? Dr. Ghaith, cat and cut. What do you think?
Cat, يعني بس.
All
Cut,
right.
it could be noun or verb. معناها
Good job.
يقطع.
Good. So cut, yes, to cut something, to divide it, all right, to chop it, right? And it could be a noun, as we say, as you just said, yeah. اللي هو جرح, cut, has a cut. A cut means يعني جرح, guys, it could be, all right, something like that, as a noun. And of course, cat is the common animal that we all know, the cute, snuggly animal, huh? So we have caught and caught, same pronunciation. What's the difference in meaning though then? Huh?
The second one is معطف.
Yes. Caught means
I think it,
No,
I think it's coat. The pronunciation coat.
Yeah.
معطف بسموه أو.
Yeah. This one? What are you talking about? No. Messed up the word.
في المعطف.
No.
في المعطف.
الكوت معطف C.
Number F.
A T.
Number F.
Okay. Yeah. لا ولا C ولا D. Wait guys, just a minute. caught هاي اللي هون D guys. CAUGHT هاي ماضي catch. تعرفوا catch؟
Catch.
قول على ابنك he will catch the ball. To catch. The past of catch is caught. CAUGHT. I caught the ball. I what? Caught what? A fish. Also, I caught a fish while fishing. All right. So this is the past of catch, guys. Caught. هلا caught هاي اللي هون. It's a noun, and it's a baby's. It's another word for crib. It's another word for crib. You know the baby's crib bed, which has like sides.
Baby career. Oh, baby career. Career.
CRIB. I'm sorry. It means cot. Another word for crib is cot. The baby's cot, the baby's crib. That is like a little bed, you know, which has sides to it, in which the baby is put maybe so that he won't fall. So that's why it has sides. All right. Yeah. So this means a baby bed, and this means the past tense of catch. All right. So be careful. All right, with this one. All right, let's take a look at these two, E and F, kite and coat. Oh, I think Dr. Asim was talking about this one over here. We didn't reach this one. Now you can tell us. Here, yes, as he said, coat. This is something that we wear in the winter right now, right? All the time now when we go out, we don't wear light jackets anymore, right? We put on, all of us, you know, we put on some coats, you know. I put on a coat when I go out right now because, you know, light jackets won't work anymore. It's very cold outside, right? So this is what, you know, I think, were you talking about this, Dr. Asim, and I didn't understand what you were saying? Were you talking about this or were you talking about this? All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now this one, kite. Kite. Tell us, Dr. Asim. Tell us about kite, Dr. Asim. What's this? Do you know it?
No.
Who can tell us about this one? You fly it on a windy day. You fly this on a windy day.
Like paper plane?
Yes, it's very popular in Ramtha, Dr. Asim. Right? So kite, yes, good job. اللي هي الطائرة الورقية, guys.
Yes.
Okay, yes, like you said, it doesn't have to be don't say the word plane, because plane guys اللي هي زي شكل الطائرة اللي بنعرفها اللي بنطلع فيها، يعني خلينا نقول لما نسافر. بس الكايت no, احنا بنقول عنها طائرة ورقية اوكي، بس we can't use the word plane. يعني كلمة plane مع انه احنا بالعربي بنقول طائرة ورقية. طائرة المقصود فيها مش طائرة يعني شكل الطائرة اللي بنعرفها، بس شيء يعني يطير maybe. all right.
Like handmade. Yes.
Yes, it could be handmade. It could be, something that you buy from the supermarket. I've seen versions. There are lots of versions in the States which you can buy. There's plastic involved. There's, I don't know, even, let me say paper involved. Yeah, but I think all of you guys, and it has a very long tail, right? Yeah, and it needs an expert to fly it. Not just anybody can fly a kite. You start out maybe by running very fast. And it should be very windy, right? And then, you're not lucky if your kite is caught where? By probably the wires up there in the sky, right? There are sometimes wires, for the electricity and,
Electricity,
like
yes.
that. I don't know. I just sometimes pass by and I see, some kites, hung there up in the sky on those wires. Yeah. So it seems that there was this unlucky child who lost his kite, right? All right, so we have a little bit more here. Bill and bell. What's the difference between bill and bell? What's the difference in meaning?
واحد دكتورة الأولى فاتورة والثاني جرس.
Good job. Yeah. Okay, the first one is yes. But then, Bill Clinton. It's a name also. Do you know that? It could be a name, by the way, Bill, right? So in America, this is a name, Bill. But since it's, small letter, the beginning is small letter. So yes, bill, fatura, I have to pay my bills. All right. Yeah. The electricity bill, let me say other kinds of bills. I don't know what phone bills, etc. Internet bills now we have, right? And of course, bell, yeah, as you just said, the teacher rung the bell and everybody got into the class, right? Bell, E. Then we have C and D. If you would like to participate, raise your hand, guys. Bull and ball. What's the difference between bull and ball? Spanish people, right, are familiar with bulls. There's, in Spain, something called bullfighting, right? Have you ever heard of the bullfighting that takes place in Spain? And unfortunately, these, young men who fight bulls, they sometimes lose their lives doing that, right? What does that mean? What is a bull? Bull.
Doctora, from your explanation, maybe Musaf, Tiran?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Exactly. So bull and thawr. معناها guys.
The most anger.
I said bullfighting. Yes, yeah, this is very common in Spain. So if you go to Spain, you need to, attend something like this, like a bullfight. All right. But of course, all of us know what ball means, right? Yeah. So football, basketball, all kinds of balls, we have them at home, right? Yeah. So kura, right? How about these two guys, E and F, bail and bowl? Now, Dr. What's his name? Ghaid. Now you can say something about this one. Bowl, not pot, bowl. What's a bowl?
Zubdiya.
Exactly. And it is the plate, that,
Vessel.
something liquidy. All right, guys? So it's a kind of, let me say plate, that is shaped in a way which is kind of round in some kind of way. Why? Because it's going to carry liquid, guys, something liquidy. We don't want to say liquid just like water, but liquidy, that means, something, some kind of sauce, some kind of soup, right? Something of that kind, or some kind of porridge, something thick, but it also has this watery porridge-like, consistency to it, right? Yeah. All right. So the word bail, this was like a word that is used, among manufacturers. He bought a bale of cotton, a bale of hay. He bought a bale of cotton or a bale of hay. What does that mean? Like a large quantity of cotton, guys. Bale, it's like a kind of measurement. وحدة قياس قديمة, guys, okay? That was used to measure, basically, it was used to measure cotton. All right? Huh? So when the
To measure what, Doctora?
cotton, cotton, because you know cotton was grown in the United States of America, even by the Indians. It was grown by the Indians. Do you know that? Before the explorers went to the New World. And I want to tell you guys something. When Christopher Columbus went to the New World, of course, you know, he did not reach the continent that we know, you know, America now, which is known as America. He reached what, guys? What island? Jamaica, the Bahamas, those areas, you know, which are close to, you know, which are part of North America, right? They're part of North America. But let me say, he did not reach the big bulk of land. Christopher Columbus, although we say that he discovered America, he really did not reach the, you know, the big bulk of land. Like when you say, you know, like Arizona, when you mention Arizona, those areas and stuff like that, the big bulk of land, guess what, guys? He never knew that it existed. All right. Anyway, when he met the Indians, okay, they really were very generous. They were very welcoming, and they wanted to give these people who came to the land, you know, gifts, you know, as a sign of welcome. Okay, what did they give them? They gave them bales of cotton. And when Columbus and, you know, all these people noticed that the quality of the cotton, all right, was really great, you know, very good quality cotton, you know, that's why it was one of the reasons why they wanted to colonize America, because let me say it was a fertile land. It you know, when they talked about it as the land of riches, not because, and it was said that they discovered gold and so on, but it was because the land itself, guys, produced, you know, in abundance. Like when you grew crops in the land, it produced a lot. Yeah, and did it ever happen that maybe you or someone related to you grew some kind of crop and then it didn't work out? The land was not fertile. It didn't grow. You didn't produce anything. You say, well, I grew some, you know, onions or potatoes and they didn't grow, you know? I got nothing out of all the work that I did. Although I fertilized the land, you know, I irrigated or watered the plants and so on. But, you know, the outcome was really, let me say, disastrous, and I really gained nothing, right? But the land in America, guys, and mostly during that time, it was very fertile, all right? That was one of the reasons why, you know, the New World was kind of eye-catching, all right? Yeah. So anyway, don't forget, guys, bales of cotton, all right? Like, you know, it's a quantity, a large quantity of cotton. So they gave the explorers that, the Indians themselves, okay? Cap and cape. What is this cap and cape? Who can tell me about this? What's the meaning of cap? What's the meaning
Cap
of
اللي هي طاقية.
Good job. Yes, it's a kind of hat. Yes, that has a front area that shields you from the sun. Good job. Yes, that's a cap. What's a cape then? Superman wears a cape. Batman wears a cape. Okay? It's like a piece of material, guys, put on your shoulder and it, you know, kind of goes downward, all right? Because kings also used to wear capes, guys. That's the thing. It's not like Batman's cape. Have you ever watched a movie where a king wore a cape, guys? Something on his shoulders and it goes downward? So it's basically like a abaya, all right? But it's not the one that we know, the version that women wear, let me say, in our society. But I just want to make it closer to you that even men wore capes, okay? Something of that kind. And if you, nowadays, the word cape is used when we talk about the superheroes, Superman, Batman, okay, Robin, they wear capes. You know, little kids want to wear capes and run around, you know? Yeah, so that's what a cape is, okay? Is that clear? Oh, well, C and D, cup and keep. What's the difference between cup and keep? Am I talking by myself?
No, Doctora.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Awesome.
Cup.
We want more speakers, all right? Yeah. So
cup, like a cup of coffee, you can say. Yes. To keep something, to save something.
Good job. You did a good job. So a cup, we all know it. Yeah, it's something that we use to drink coffee or tea. We call it a cup. It could be plastic, it could be glass. Although some people say about cups that are made of glasses, you know, like I drank a glass of water, and it means a cup of water, but it's, you know, like the material that it's made of, right? Is glass. That's why we say glass sometimes. But you can say cup also, even if it's made up of glass or any kind of, you know, material. And of course, keep, to keep something means to save it for later. Yes. To not throw it away, not to dispose of it, all right? Not to get rid of it, to hide it, to protect it, you know, something of that kind. Yes, thank you so much. So we have cop and cope. What's the difference between cop and cope? Yes, Dr. Hiba.
Doctor, cop like police.
Good job. That could be one. Yes.
Cope, to cope, like adapt.
What is it again? What did you say? Adopt?
Cope, like adapt.
Okay. Yeah, adapt. Yes, I agree. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
To cope with something is to adapt. Good job. To cope, like to deal with it. Okay. Yes. I handled this. I coped with it, you know. I dealt with it, you know. I adapted. Good job. Thank you so much. Cope اللي هو guys يعني إن الواحد يتعامل مع الشيء you know يكون الأمور تمام معه. All right. يتكيف مثلا مع شيء معين. To cope, to deal. Sometimes you can just say I coped with a situation. I dealt with a situation. All right. Yeah. In a way where خلاص I dealt with it in a certain way and I'm done with it. All right. Yeah. So to cope means to adapt, could be that. Like if you go to England, guys, and you've never been to England before, you need some time to cope, to get used to England, to get used to the culture, to get used to the, to the climate there, right? The weather, the climate, you know, the changes, all right? That you've never, you know, let me say, been exposed to before, all right? Yeah, thank you so much.
To get used.
What?
To get used to the environment, maybe.
Exactly, to get used to. All right. So we have, you know, some more words that start with B.
And letter E, cup. What the meaning of it?
What is it? Cups. I called the cups.
والله يا دكتور هاي جديد بنسمعها. لا الأمانة يعني من سنة عرفت إنها بوليس.
You know, it's used in movies, by the way, by people, you know. A cop is a policeman. Policeman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a cop is a policeman, but sometimes we say I called the cops, you know. Yeah. So you know, it's used by, you know, by people who speak English. It's very common. They don't even say police. We say police because we use police in Arabic also.
Yes.
Yeah. But Americans mainly say I called the cops. They don't say I called the police. Really, it's barely used. It's, you know, it doesn't mean it's not used at all, but they're used to saying cop and cops. Okay, I saw a cop on the side of a road. A cop means a policeman. All right, got the idea?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, I want to tell you guys something very funny about cop and cops. All right. So my husband told me that when he was in the States, because he did his PhD in the States. All right. You know, he had a neighbor who was very noisy. He would always turn on some music. What kind of music would it be? The rap music, you know, rap.
Rap.
Yeah. And of course he was, as they say, an Arab to the, let me say, to the very, you know, end of it. All right. Yeah. And he didn't enjoy rap at all. All right. So the most he got now, he only probably enjoys like country music. All right. Anyway, he said he did not like the music. He went over and told the neighbor, you know, to turn down the music, and then he promised he would, and he never did. So he called the cops. All right. And he told them about the neighbor. Of course, the cops, you know, guess what? You know, didn't do anything about it. You know why? Because the cops were dancing and rapping also with the young man when he went and checked. All right. So they enjoyed rap. All right. So he said, I had no option but to do what? So he said, the next day I asked my friend if he had a stereo. All right. And I asked him for mijwiz and dabke. All right. If they had that kind of music, you know, and he said, I turned it on, you know, to the loudest. And then the next day, he said, they packed their things and they left. They never came back to the apartment. They moved. because of everyday dabke and mijwiz, you know. For them, that was, yeah, worse than rap for them. Can you imagine? So rap for us Arabs sometimes could be like mijwiz and dabke for, you know, people who are not used to it. All right, where are we now? Bead, and bid. What's the difference between bead and bid? I have a necklace made of beads. What?
Bid.
Yeah.
The second one is المضاربة بيسموها.
مضاربة ولا مزاودة؟
هو مضاربة أو مزاودة بيسموها.
بصير الواحد يقول عنها مضاربة. I never knew that.
نعم إنه زيد بالسعر مثلا.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
يعني بيضارب على غيره بهيك بالعامية إذا بدنا نحكي.
Oh, okay. All right. As long as you understand it, Dr. Ghaith, because the goal, remember, when you find this in a paragraph or in a sentence, the goal is to understand it, to be able to deal with it. That's the thing. So what the mental picture that comes here, that's the most important thing, right? Like, what's the use of knowing how to define something if you don't really understand it, right? Because the goal at the end of the day is to understand the word in order to deal with it, right? And to be able to answer questions about it. That's the thing, right? Yeah. So yes. Okay, true. That's what bid is. To bid is, yes, to actually do something like that. Yeah. To be in an auction, you know, sometimes, yeah. And you know what an auction is in Arabic? What's an auction?
خيار.
Auction? No, not auction. Auction اللي هي مكان المزاودة, you know, that's called an auction.
Okay.
Yeah. And an auctioneer is someone who makes these bids. Okay, the man, the young, or I don't know if there's a woman also who could make some bids, you know. Yeah. اللي هي المزاودة, بيعمل المزاودة, all right, something like that. Now the word bead, guys, bead, you know, the prayer, you know, let me say beads, you know them, prayer beads, we call them. اللي هن ايش, what are they, the prayer beads, guys? Who knows? Let me see who knows the prayer beads. Don't know? مسبحة. All right. Yeah. Prayer, guys. It is a da'wah, guys. When you use them, you say prayers. We call them prayers. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. These are prayers, guys. All right. Yeah. So these words, they're called prayers. All right. And then beads, you know, that means, guys, kharaz. All right. That's what it is. So that's a bead. Sometimes, you know, children wear necklaces made of beads, right? Even adults have necklaces made of beads. And mostly if those beads are pearl. What are pearls? Pearl beads. They would be very expensive. Mostly if the pearls are like real pearls. Pearls? What are pearls? Pearl? What's a pearl? Do you have a pearl necklace? Pearl is something white, like kind of beige, a little bit of beige, but it's kind of white. And you can, like, real pearl is very expensive because you can, you know, let me say, the way to get it is very hard. It's created inside a shell, right? يعني داخل صدفة, guys, بتتكون الpearl. What is that in Arabic? I forgot the Arabic word, by the way. So yes, lo. And so that's what pearl is, all right? Yeah. Anyway, so pearl is a kind of bead also, right? Yeah. Now, bed and bad, come on. These are very easy. What's a bed? Where you sleep. That's
Sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, the place where you sleep, we call it my bed, right? And then bad, it's an adjective, right? And it means the opposite of?
Good.
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 Yes.
The opposite of good is bad. Who's bad? That's a song, by the way. Do you know the song, Who's Bad? No?
Tell us.
No, it's a song by Michael Jackson. It's called Who's Bad? Yeah. Let's move on to bud and bowed. Bud. Now we took this word. Don't tell me that you don't know what bud means. It was in the exam. Remember the buds that were in the exam? The sentence that had the word bud, the spring and the budding flowers. Bud, guys, means bur'um. اللي هي like, you know, it's like just it's a singular for bara'an. Okay, got it? So whenever we talk about trees and them, you know, let me say having buds on them, you know, we remember spring. You know, flowers are budding, like about to open. All right. So that's what they mean. All right. So that's what it is really. Okay. So we're talking about, you know, let me say a baby flower about to open. That's what the bud is. All right. Yeah. How about bowed? At the end of a show, guys, people bow. Like if they were in a show, they would bow. I don't know in Arabic, you know,
like bend the head forward.
exactly. Now people do it as a, you know, it's like a method of, you know, respect and, you know, yeah, that's why people use it. I think, you know, Chinese, Japanese people,
Japanese,
people
yes.
from, yeah, people from Asia, right? Huh? East Asia, let's say, use bowing in their daily lives, right? Muslims use bowing, but we use it where? In prayer. In prayer for salah. What's a salah in English? Prayer, guys.
Prayer, yeah.
Yeah, we use bowing when we pray. And we usually say something like, we only bow before whom? Before God. Something like that. All right. But like I said, you know, some people do it not in a way where, you know, the people they bow to are, you know, godly or heavenly. No. It's just a sign of respect, you know? Yeah, just a little nod like this, you know, you put your head down like that's called bowing. All right. I think Indians also do something like this, right? That's a bow. Okay. So bow. See how it's pronounced? Huh? Not bow. Be careful. Bow. There is in English bow, by the way. Do you know the bow? Bow and arrow. And there's bow اللي هي, you know, ربطة العنق اللي بتكون هيك. The bione, bow, we call it. Yes, Dr. Khulud. What do you want to say about this? Dr. Khulud, you had your hand up. No, you decided not to, or your internet is not probably helping you out, right? Yeah. All right. So let's move on to neat and night. What's the difference between neat and night? Your work is neat. Neat means what? Not meat. Neat. Your work is neat. You did a neat job. A neat job like good job. All right? Yes, Dr. Ghaib.
Neat معناها مرتب.
Good job. Thank you so much.
Neat,
منظم مرتب. Thank you. You have very neat handwriting. منظم مرتب. Good job. Thank you. You know, in place. Yeah. And if you look outside, it's nighttime.
We can say systematic, the same meaning of systematic.
Not really, you know. We use it just as a regular adjective, you know. He's neat. Yeah, he's organized. Well, okay. Yeah. But usually we use it in a, I want to say a more, you know, simple manner, Dr. Ghaith. We don't want to make it as if it's a word used for, you know, let me say a company or, you know, I don't know. It's just, you know, a word used. We can tell our children something like, oh, you're neat, amazing, you know. But the word neat means organized, all right? Most of the time. Sometimes people use it in a random manner even, you know. This is neat, like very good even. See the word good? See how it could be used even to mean that, all right? So we don't want to overdo it with the word neat. So night, of course, nighttime, you know, it's dark, right? All of us know this. Let's move on to net and nut. What's the difference between net and
net اللي هي شبكة ونت اللي هي المكسرات.
Good job. So do you know that sometimes you might say that this person's a nut? That means he's
silly.
Crazy. Could be silly, you know, if he's crazy. He's a nut, like he's okay. Yeah, and when you say somebody's silly, you probably mean he's crazy too, right? Something like that, or weird.
دكتورة النت بتستخدم للبندق ولا بتستخدم لكل المكسرات بشكل عام؟
hazelnut.
Well, all يعني بصراحة it's used for this and that. Okay, يعني sometimes you might say something I like nuts اللي هي كيف نحكي مكسرات بس nuts not nut by itself. I like nuts. Okay, and it means مكسرات. All right, yeah, so it could be like a variety in that way.
وإذا بنحكي نت لحالها بنحكي عن البندق يا بندق.
No, أحكي لك يعني it's messy.
جوز.
I'm going, listen, if you ever, you know, face this word, خلاص خليكوا على البندق, okay? But nowadays, هاني بقولكم, it's used to mean more than just that, you know, kind of nut, okay? All right? يعني people say, I like nuts, and it could be almonds. Can you imagine almonds? What are almonds? Lose.
اللي هو اللوز.
Yes. So they don't mean when I say I like nuts, it could be all of these together. I'm a person who loves nuts. So it doesn't just mean by the word nuts, it doesn't just mean, you know, it in the plural, different kinds also. Okay. But like I said, if you ever encounter the word in an exam, let's use the, you know, be safe and use the, you know, the original version of the word. All right. Like how originally it's used and the meaning of it. Okay. All right, let's move on to not and note. Look at the K, see the K silent, not. Oh my gosh. And then note. Of course, I think all of you guys know the word note. He wrote me a note. What's a note? First, the second one, this one.
ملاحظة.
ممكن تعطي ملاحظة أو ممكن نحكي عن ملخص نوت.
Good. Yeah, usually هي ملاحظة, okay, or you know, like معلومة سريعة. He gave me a note, all right. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. And how about not? Oh, wow.
دكتور هاي مشان البريك.
You see, I'm sorry, guys. This is an overseas call, all right? Yeah. And so I couldn't stop it. It's like on FaceTime and my computer is connected to it. So I'm sorry about that. All right. Yeah. But generally speaking, where were we? I think I lost the book itself. But, you know, we were talking about not K-N-O-T. Isn't that what we were talking about? Remind me.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, that's what we were talking about. Am I still sharing with you my screen? Look at it.
Yes.
Okay.
We still see. So
we have not, yes, and note. We will quit right now after this, okay? So this, we were talking about not. What is a knot? Let's quickly. Like when you tie something. When you tie تربط, guys. تربط شغلة, all right? Then, أيوة. And then you cannot untie. تقدرش تفك الإيش؟
العقدة.
Exactly. This is called knot. Okay. So sometimes, you know, I would put on my apron. You know what an apron is? So I'm a doctor and I wear an apron sometimes. All right. What's an apron? Tell me what an apron is. Guys, come on, help me. An apron اللي هو المريول for work at home. So sometimes I put on an apron so that, you know, my clothing doesn't get dirty, right? When I, you know, do the dishes, or although I have a dishwasher, but I don't like it. I like the regular way of washing dishes, all right? So anyway, so I tie it quickly, all right? And then what happens? Suddenly it becomes a knot at the, you know, and I don't know how to, you know, undo it, okay? So then my husband has to help me with the knot, okay?
Yes,
So
yes.
just to show you how the word is used, you know, all right? Yeah. So I hope that your lives, guys, are empty of knots, okay? All right, so we'll come back in 15 minutes, all right? See you, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye, Doctor.
Bye.